Namaste friends, going on with our Bhagavad Gita journey. We are now on verse 45, chapter 2nd still, 45th verse, 2nd chapter. Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nistragunyo Bhavarjuna Nirdvandvo Nitya Sattvastho Niryoga Kshema Atmavan. Lot of nir word, negative words in a sense, but with a positive interpretation. What is Krishna telling Arjun now? Traigunya Vishayaha Vedaha. Right? Vedaha, plural. Ved here is not referring to knowledge as a term, but to the sacred texts of India, the oldest sacred texts of India, the 4 Vedas, as we know, Rigved, Yajurved, Samved and Atharved. All 4 Vedas. It is in plural here. So it includes, it has to be more than 2 for sure, because there is singular, there is dual, and then there is plural. In Sanskrit, there are 3 ways we can count a noun or a pronoun: singular, dual and plural. So here it is Vedaha, plural. So it has to be all the 4 Vedas. What is the topic of all 4 Vedas is what Krishna is explaining to Arjun. Traigunya Vishayaha Vedaha. That the subject, the topic of the Vedas is Traigunya, 3 gunas. What are those 3 gunas? Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. One of the most important, most popular, most widely celebrated, most widely explained, debated is the topic of the 3 gunas in entire Indian culture, Indian civilization, Indian music, Indian food, Indian philosophy. It comes from Samkhya Yoga. Sankhya, which we were sort of discussing whether to translate Sankhya as a branch of philosophy or as simply as a word that refers to battlefield. But here Krishna most directly is referring to Traigunya Vishaya, but he doesn't mention Sankhya Yoga or Kapil Muni, the so-called founder of Sankhya Yoga. He simply says Vedas have this topic of 3 gunas. What are those 3 gunas? Sattva, Tamas and Rajas. Sattva means very noble, very calm qualities. Right? Rajas means energetic qualities, energizing qualities. Right? And then Tamas is sort of dark, inertia, slow, and sort of lethargic kind of qualities. So Indian food is also imbibed with these 3 qualities. Some food have intrinsic sattvic qualities. Very fresh fruits, for example, fruits and vegetables would be considered very sattvic. Right? Rajasic would be probably food with a lot of energy, ghee and a lot of calories. Tamasic food will be rotten food, food that is to be rejected but still is consumed somehow. So unhealthy food would be all Tamasic. So here Traigunya Vishayaha Vedaha. So Krishna is saying Vedas have this topic of 3 gunas. But what should Arjun do? He says in the next part, Nistragunyo Bhavarjuna. Bhava Arjuna. Become, O Arjun. Vocative. He's talking to Arjun, right? It's a conversation. O Arjun, hey Arjun. Sambodhan. Bhava, become. How he should become? Nihatragunyaha. Beyond all 3 gunas or devoid of all 3 gunas. So there could be 4 kinds of ways a soul can be, right? A soul or a person can be in tamasic quality, with full of tamasic qualities, rajasic qualities, sattvic qualities, but beyond all 3 is moksha, which Krishna referred to in the previous verse also. That if you are having these double-minded, equivocal mind, you will also be looking for rewards, paradise or victory or so on, but you should be beyond all these dualities. That is what he's saying. You should be beyond all 3 gunas also. Sattvic is not the end goal here according to Krishna. You should transcend even sattva. You have to definitely reject tamasic qualities, rajasic qualities, but even sattvic qualities, and you have to transcend and go beyond all 3. That is what he's telling Arjun to be. How can you become that? Or what else Arjun should do? Nirdvandvaha nitya sattvasthaha. Nirdvandva. You should not be dwelling into these polarities, this dichotomy to fight or not to fight, to lose or to win. You should be beyond all these polarities. Nitya sattvasthaha. You should be established in sattva, but ultimately you have to transcend even sattva. First he said you transcend all 3. Now he is saying nitya, eternally, forever, you should be established in sattva. Sattva most likely is referring to here the ultimate qualities, ultimate transcendental phenomenon of Brahman. So you have to be stationed in that transcendental quality, transcendental phenomenon. Niryoga kshemaha atmavan. You have to go beyond without even thoughts of acquisition and conservation. Yoga kshema. I think I referred some time back in one of the other episodes that the biggest insurance company of India, which was first owned by Indian government, now it is, I think, privatized. The tagline of that insurance company, without mentioning the name, probably you can guess whom I'm referring to. The tagline of that insurance company was Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham. And I remember Pandurang Shastri Athavale, revered Dadaji, revered Dadaji, used to criticize a business cause for exploiting a Sanskrit line coming from the Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna is telling his devotees that Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham. That assurance given by Lord Krishna, by Yogeshwar Krishna, is being used for a commercial purpose. That I will take care of you in a very loose translation, in a very rough translation. But here it says, O Arjuna, be Atmavan, be stationed in your soul, in your eternal existence of your Sattva. Sattva can simply be translated as simply existence also. Right? To Sat means it comes from us, which is the Sanskrit root to be. To be, so what ultimately remains in the world, in the universe, is not our body, not any materialistic possession, but only soul, and soul that merges with Brahman. So to exist is the eternal truth. What exists eternally is the soul, not body. So existence equals to truth, equals to soul, from Sanskrit perspective, from Indic perspective. Existence is the ultimate truth. What exists is the soul. So soul is the ultimate truth. So Krishna is saying, free from thoughts of acquisition and comfort. Yoga kshemam, acquisition. Yoga means to unite, to acquire more, and to be united with probably materialistic things. And kshem, of comfort. So think beyond those things. Think beyond your own, think beyond yoga kshem, because later he will tell Arjun, Yoga kshemam vahamyam. I'm taking care of your acquisition and comfort. You focus only on your eternal self, that is your soul. Excellent verse, this 45th verse. Very, very, so many different deep concepts Krishna is brought here. So to summarize, Traigunya Vishaya Veda, Nistrai Gunyo Bhavarjuna, Nirdvandvo Nitya Sattvasthav, Niryoga Kshema Atmavan. Excellent. Poetically also sounds so beautiful with all these negative words, but with positive connotation. So the Winthrop Sargeant's translation says here, the Vedas are such that their scope is confined to the three qualities. Be free from those three qualities, Arjuna. Indifferent toward the pairs of opposites, eternally fixed in truth. So the Winthrop Sargeant has translated here Sattva as truth. Like I was saying, Sattva is actually referring to the existence of soul, which is the ultimate truth from Hindu Indic philosophy. So that's how he is translated. Sattva, truth, existence. Free from thoughts of acquisition and comfort, yoga kshemam, and possessed of the self, Atmavan. So be possessed in your own self. Not the self with small s, this self with capital S, which means the soul again. So I hope you got that meaning clear. That was 45th. Now going on to 46th verse. Yavat artha udapane sarvatah samplutodake tavans vedeshu brahmanasya vijanatah. So he is saying, as much value as there is in a well when water is flooding on every side, so much is the value in all the Vedas for a Brahman who knows. That is the 46th verse. Then we go on to 47th verse, which is extremely popular. Everybody has heard. Whoever has heard the word Bhagavad Gita knows this particular verse, which is extremely popular. I think the entire gist of Bhagavad Gita, some people would like to argue, for example, Lokmanya Tilak, that the entire Bhagavad Gita can simply called as Karma Yoga Shastra. And this is the verse that summarizes the entire Karma Yoga Shastra. What is that? Karmanya vadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phal hetur bhur mate sangosto karmani. This has been another sort of commercial appropriation of a Bhagavad Gita verse by B.R. Chopra, one of the most respected filmmaker, Bollywood Hindi filmmaker, older brother of Yash Chopra. his tagline, as you know, any film that you watch by B.R. Chopra, Nikah or Aaj Ki Awaaz or so many other, Bagban and so many, Naya Daur, so many others, every time when you see B.R. Chopra, B.R. films picture, first scene, you will hear this Sanskrit shlok in the background. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturbhur mate sangosto karmani. Very, very important, very easy, very important. I think everybody already knows. Karmanyevadhikaraste, adhikaraste, adhikar, hak, right. Your hak, your adhikar is only on your karma. Ma phaleshu kadachana, phaleshu, locative, singular, on the fruits of your action, kadachana, never ever you have the right on the fruits of your action. The result are beyond your control. Right? Ma karma phal hetur bhur. Ma, negation, prohibition. Ma, no. Ma, this is without the nasal sound. So here ma simply means prohibitive. Ma karma phal hetu. The consequence of your action should never be the motivation for your action. Mate sangosto akarmani. And you can also not be attached to the attachment of inaction. Because Arjun is arguing for inaction. He wants to run away from the field and he wants to go to some forest and maybe sit in meditation. So Krishna is saying neither the fruits of the action nor inaction can be your attachment. You cannot be attached to the fruits of your action. What Arjun has been arguing for, that if I do this, so many people will be killed, women will become widows, and all those are consequences of his action. So Krishna is prohibiting him to be attached to the consequences of his actions. Similarly, if Arjun says, I want to run away from my action, Krishna is arguing against that also. You can neither be inactive nor be attached to the consequences of your actions. That's 47th verse. And now we go on to 48th verse. Very important, very popular verse as well. Yogastaha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhayah asiddhayah samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. Excellent. There is another Bhagavad Gita version by Music Today. Music Today is a branch of India Today, the big group that brought out a musical album of some selected verses of the Bhagavad Gita set to music by Vanraj Bhatia. In that, Ravindra Sathe has sung some of these verses beautifully. Great voice and great music, Vanraj Bhatia, Ravindra Sathe. In that, this verse, I used to listen to these verses more than 2 decades back. So, what is this saying? Yogastaha kuru karmani. Yogastaha. Again, be established in yoga. Yoga in the sense, steadfastness, discipline, kuru karmani. And then do your action. Be a yogi. Then perform your actions. That is, without attaching to the consequences of your actions. So, almost like nishkam karma. He has not used the word nishkam karma here. But a lot of people will just say, Bhagavad Gita says, perform your actions in a nishkam karma way. Nishkam, without attachment. Sangam tyaktva dhananjaya. Dhananjaya, a synonym of Arjun. Dhananjaya, conqueror of wealth. Right? Not just bank balance wealth, but all kinds of wealth Arjun has conquered. So you are a Kshatriya. You are a conqueror of wealth. So, but you should conquer such wealth in a yogic fashion. When your mind acts like a yogi, then you perform your actions and be victorious, be more dhananjaya, be victorious. Sangam tyaktva, but tyaktva, having abandoned, chodkar tyaktva, gerund. This is the gerund form in Sanskrit grammatically. So sangam, attachment. So get rid of the attachment and perform your actions like a yogi. Siddhayah asiddhayah. Success or defeat, or success or failure, victory or defeat. Samaha bhutva, having become, bhutva, gerund again, having become balanced in your victories and defeats. Samatvam yoga uchyate. Beautiful definition of yoga. What is yoga? Samatvam, balanced. Balance is yoga. Uchyate. Uchyate means passive voice. It is said that yoga is simply balance. Not just balance of body, balance of mind, balance of your actions, everything under balance. No extremes, right? No sattvic, no tamasic, no rajasic. Having transcended everything, be of balanced mind. That is the true state of mind of a yogi. That is how you should fight. That is how you should perform your actions. That will transcend you beyond all these 3 gunas. That is the way to live. That is the way to fight as a Kshatriya, as a Dhananjaya, conqueror of wealth. With that, we complete 4 verses of this week, and we'll carry on with the next 4 verses in the next week. Thank you. Namaste.